Welcome to the session. A viewer of these videos wrote me a note suggesting that I didn't really understand the fifth law that Dr. Geert Hammer uses in his definition of the German New Medicine. And since I do have a huge respect for what this person is doing, presumably it would be useful for me to know that. It led me to wonder about models, because in fact I don't know it, for all of my respect. And I found myself wondering, let's say that when a health issue arises in your life, what do you do? Whatever you do is based on some underlying hypothesis, shall we say, or maybe model of who you are, where your information comes from, what's the right thing to do, how you discover this, who you trust, etc. And of course, for all of us it's different, and for all of us it's pretty complicated. And for me, I know what my model was 15 years ago. The basic idea was I'm pretty healthy, and if anything happens that I can't satisfy with an aspirin tablet, a vitamin pill, food, or some extra sleep, I need to go to the doctor. It was really that simple. I couldn't afford to keep it, since that way was pretty clearly heading me straight toward my death. And if that's your model, there's nothing wrong at all. That's where I was. But now that I've changed, I've started looking at it. So what is your model, and how do you decide what you will do? These are, after all, habits, and they're pretty important in your definition. And perhaps you could look at them as actually really a model of who you are. I know that in the public media, people act in certain ways, and I also know that the public media has shows that are actually quite expensive to produce. And my assumption then is that whoever paid for that would probably want to encourage the kind of models or habits in their people that would lead you to pay them money. I mean, after all, they're wealthy people. They didn't become wealthy by accident. So presumably whatever models you are seeing in the media would lead to wealth for these people. They may not lead to wealth for you. So the question in my mind is, what model is most profitable for you? Now, I know about me, so I can speak with some authority there. My model is very consistent with something I saw in a physics book called The Physics of Immortality, if you would believe it. It's actually a heavy book, very technical, a lot of general relativity, by Frank Kepler at Duke University. His model of a human being is actually very simple. The human being consists of two parts. There's a body, and then there's a part that is a way of seeing the world, or a computer program, or a logical processing way of thinking. You can call it the spirit if you want. And that's the way that I see things. And that's the model I do use when there's a health issue. When there's a health issue, I go back to my partner, the body. I'm the computer program, or whatever you want to call it. I go to the body and I say, this is really getting in our way. Is there anything we can do? And for example, here's that right shoulder of mine, which has been giving me a problem recently. The body comes back to me, and I'm saying, look, I'm really uncomfortable with this. My body says, I am too. I can't seem to figure out where the bones are, let alone fix them and put them in the right place. Could we look at some of those symbols you drew? I said, sure, let's go take a look. and my body kind of looks through my eyes and say, there, that's interesting. And so I poke around with that and I change its colors, and after a while my body says, I think I see where the bones are now. I can actually do something useful. And so I say, well, are we finished yet? And the body says, no, give me a few more minutes. And then it's finished, it's done. And since then things have started to improve. I see it as a partnership. Now, if I saw this in the more, how do I say, if I saw that I had to really heal everything, and I had to use complex methods, vaccines, operations and things like that, then in a way I am invading the private territory of my partner. Not only that, I'm also saying, without consultation with my partner, that I regard this partner as being incompetent. Well, if that's the way I'm going to act, it wouldn't surprise me if my partner did act incompetent and threw up their hands and said, it's your job, not mine. I'm shutting down. Rather, I express trust and let the partner take over where the, and also let the partner come back to me where there's a way in which I can help. I find that a very profitable, private way of a model. It's my own model, and it certainly has helped heal me and my wife. It's done it at almost no expense, and not a whole lot of time required either. How about your models? How do they do for you? Are they helping you achieve what you want? I hope your models are profitable. Talk to you later. You like that? Let me listen to it and I'll send it up.